Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly recognize the presence of Honorable Engineer Abubakar Momo, FNSE, the Minister of Regional Development, who today is the special guest of honor. His administrative prowess covers the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Can we put our hands together for him, please? He deserves a round of applause, please. Let me also make welcome a man who is urbane, mercurial, with a distinguished personality, Mr. Chiedu Ebie Esquire, Chairman, Governing Board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Please, a round of applause. A round of applause, please. And also let me quickly recognize a pace-setting, revolutionary, astute, with limitless sense of compassion, Chief Samuel Ogbuku, PhD, Managing Director, CEO, Niger Delta Development Commission. Let me also recognize Honorable Boma Iyaye, Esquire, DSSRS, Executive Director, Finance and Administration, Niger Delta Development Commission, purpose-driven gentleman. Please, a round of applause. Let me also make welcome Sir Victor Antai, Executive Director, Projects, NDDC, ever resilient and pragmatic gentleman. Please, a round of applause. And here is the affable and gentle one, Honorable Ifedayo Abegunde, Executive Director, Corporate Services, NDDC. Let me recognize Senator Demaro Diembofa, the Bayelsa State Representative on the NDDC Governing Board. And quickly also, Chief Dimba Eruba, the Abia State Representative on the NDDC Board. And also, Chief Tony Okocha, the River State Representative on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Let me recognize the following organizations here present. The Ogbuku Progressive Network, led by Igwe Walson. The Green Workers. Where are the Green Workers? A big shout out to you. The United Sisters of Okodi, led by Chief Ayala. Ogbia APC Women, led by Capacity Women Leader, Damini Bright. And the United Ladies of Ogbia, led by Ifia Minalo Beredugo. Most importantly, let me recognize distinguished senators here in our midst. Senator Asokwo Ekpeyong, Cross River South, Chairman Senate Committee on the NDDC. Please, a round of applause for him. Senator Chiwuba Patrick Ndubeze, Imo North, Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on NDDC, and Chairman, Senate Committee on Steel Development. A round of applause. Senator Benson Friday Kombowe, Bayelsa Central, Chairman, Senate Committee on South-South Development Commission. Senator Agadaga Benson Sunday, Bayelsa East, Chairman, Senate Committee on Host Communities. And Senator Anthony Ani, Ebonyi South, Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Tourism. For the respectable honorable members of the House of Representatives, we have Honorable Rodney Ambawe, representing the Committee on NDDC Chairman, Ambawe Ebikebina, Honorable Victor Abang Bisong, representing the good people of Ikom Boki Federal Constituency, Cross River State. Please, this gentleman deserves a resounding applause. Can we put our hands together for them? Honorable Barrister Sunday Siakos Umeha, representing the good people of Ezagu Udi Federal Constituency, Enugu State. Honorable Issa Bello Ambarura, representing the good people of Guadabawa Ilela Federal Constituency, Sokoto State. Honorable Rabiu Garba Kamba, Honorable Godwin Ofiong Ode. Honorable Godwin Ofiong Ode represents the good people of Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency in Cross River State. And a guest of honor who is very prominent is Mr. Olanikbeku Olukoyode, Executive Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC. Please, can we put our hands together for him? Yes, if our hearts are to be at rest, I think he deserves much more than this. The GOC 6th Division, Major General E.E. Aneka. A round of applause, please. 16 BDE Commodore Brigadier General O.O. Obolo. AVM SK Aneka, Air Officer Commanding Mobility Command. RADM AA Gaya, Flag Officer Commanding Naval Command. And Oluwa Tosin Adeola Ajayi, DGSS MON. Please, a round of applause. Thank you. Let me also quickly recognize Commander Samuel Mipuaraziba Joe. He's the National President, Ogbia Brotherhood Youth Council Worldwide. And let me recognize the Truth Ambassadors of Niger Delta, led by Dr. Tula Charles. Can we put our hands together for them? At this point in time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to ask this gathering to rise for the national anthem. Still in this mood, may I call for the opening prayer, and our prayer is going to come from the third stanza of the national anthem. Please, can we do a recitation of the third stanza of the national anthem as the opening prayer? 1, 2, go. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Thank you. Please, can we all be seated? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman, Managing Director, CEO, board members, senators, distinguished senators, House of Reps members, I welcome you to Otuokpoti, when the history of this community will come in the near future. The names of all the operators today will come in indelible gold print. The entity says it's determined to spread development across the length and breadth of our region to facilitate an even development so that we can become a region that is socially stable, economically prosperous, and politically peaceful. This is the mandate and indeed the vision which we are witnessing today. Once again, can we put our hands together for the NDDC? For this uncommon feat, and especially the governing board and the executive management for trailblazing a new era of development across the length and breadth of our region. I think that they deserve another round of applause. Permit me at this point to welcome the Bayelsa State representative on the NDDC governing board, Senator Demaro Diambofa, to give us a welcome address. Please, can we put our hands together for him as he comes on stage?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Elder Senator Deyam of Adimoro, Bayelsa State Rep, and the NDDC Board. I want to start by recognizing our Minister for Regional Development that is present with us here, Engineer Abubakar Mom. I also have Chairman and members of the Senate Committee on NDDC, Senator Suko Ekpenyong, Chairman member of the House Committee on NDDC, who is represented by Ambawe. I also have our guest here, Olandipeku Olukeye, the EFCC Director here. I also have in my protocol list the chairman of our board, Mr. Shidu Ebi, chairman, governing board, NDDC. And my amiable MD, Samuel Ombuku, PhD, Managing Director, CEO, NDDC. Alaba Buma Iaye, Director of SSR, Executive Director of Finance and Administration. Honorable Victor Antai, Executive Director, Projects. Honorable Fayabo Ifadayo Adekunde, the Executive Director, Corporate Services. My fellow state reps and other members of the NDDC board, Your Royal Majesties, clergymen, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. It is great pleasure and immense joy that I welcome you all to this auspicious occasion as we gather here to commission the NDDC Bayelsa State Office and the NDDC Renewed Hope Multipurpose Training Center, Otuokpoti, Bayelsa State. This significant milestone is a testimony to our shared commitment to progress, empowerment, and development of our beloved region. On behalf of the board and management of the NDDC, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to President Hamid Bola Tinubu, whose renewed hope, blueprint, and unwavering support has been instrumental in making this project and many others in reality. To the Bayelsa State Government, your collaboration continues to pave the way for impactful development, and in our state, by the NDDC being an interventional agency. The National Assembly, especially the Senate and House Committee on Energy and NDDC, recognize your steadfast dedication to the advancement of the Niger Delta Development Commission. The Ministry of Regional Development has played a pivotal role in guiding and strengthening our mission. We deeply appreciate your the oversight and commitment to ensuring the NDDC fulfill its mandate effectively. Our armed forces and law enforcement agencies, your presence is recognized in this place. A maintenance and peace and security across the region and commendable. Your sacrifice and dedication provided to stabilize the necessity to growth and transformation. To our esteemed traditional rulers, your wisdom and leadership continue to be guiding force. Your contribution in fostering unity and progress remains invaluable. A special appreciation goes to our respective religious leaders, whose prayers, guidance, and moral compasses have been crucial in shaping a society grounded in values, peace, and communal harmony. Our spiritual leadership offers hope and resilience to our purpose, to our people. To the stakeholders and vibrant people of the Niger Delta, your unwavering support and belief in the vision of the NDDC, and specifically the board and management, inspired us to push boundaries and push initiatives that truly transforms lives. As a board, we continue to change the narrative and public perceptions of NDDC by continuing going to engage meaningful programs and commissioning projects that positively impact our lives, just as we have been doing across the member states, commemorating NDDC 25 years anniversary. The NDDC remains hope. The NDDC Hope Multipurpose Training Center symbolizes our commitment to equipping our people with vital skills and opportunity to thrive in various sectors. The NDC Bayelsa State Office will ensure great efficiency in coordinating impactful projects that drive growth and prosperity for our communities. On behalf of the board of members of the NDC, we welcome you all to this commissioning of the NDC Bayelsa State Office and the NDC Renewed Hope Multipurpose Training Center. Please relax and enjoy your program. Thanks and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think that he deserves another round of applause. Let me also quickly recognize the presence of Honorable Fred Agbedi. He represents Sagbama Ekeremo Federal Constituency in the National Assembly. Make welcome also to Representative Mary Ebikake. Rep. Mary Ebikake represents Brass Nembe Federal Constituency in the National Assembly. Honorable Chief Obodo Mitema, PhD. He represents Ogbia Federal Constituency in the National Assembly. Most profoundly, I want to welcome His Royal Highness ACT Nwogo Otuokpoti the 14th of Otuokpoti. Yes, we left the best for the last. Represented by the Secretary, Otuokpoti Community, Afuga Munalaifa Proctor. And the next item on our agenda is the royal welcome. That's the way the people of Otuokpoti welcome their visitors, especially you that is a great visitor. And so I'm going to ask Chief Arumuna Jolly Ineri, who is a member Council of Chiefs of Otuokpoti, to come do the royal welcome. I think there should be a royal applause to herald a royal welcome. To welcome all paramount rulers, all clan heads, all community leaders here present.
I stand here on the existing protocol and to inform that the Otuokpoti community is here present. I welcome all of you for coming to Otuokpoti Ibe community. We, the Asian people of Otuokpoti, on behalf of the paramount ruler, His Royal Highness ACT Nwogo Otuokpoti the 14th, and the Council of Chiefs appreciate Mr. President, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Chairman NDDC, MD/CEO, Chief Samuel Ogbuku, for bringing this project to our community and many other ongoing projects. We appreciate you for your kind gesture and hereby present these items for you from our Royal Highness to you as you commission this training center. Thank you and God bless.
A traditional presentation to the MDCO, the way things are done in Otuokpoti and indeed the Niger Delta. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome on stage the chief architect for today's commissioning, and like I described him earlier on, resilient and pragmatic. Let me make welcome Sir Victor Antai, Executive Director of Projects, Niger Delta Development Commission. Please, a big, big, warm round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister, Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, the distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria here present, the chairman of the board of NDDC, Mr. Chedu Ebie, the visionary, the man that has moved the NDDC from transactional NDDC to transformational NDDC, a man with a vision to birth the NDDC of our dreams for the Niger Delta region, Dr. Samuel Oboku, and all other distinguished force commanders here present. May I please ask that you permit me to stop here and stand on the already established protocol. It is with profound gratitude and a deep sense of purpose that I welcome you all to this historic occasion, the official commissioning of the NDDC Renewed Hope Multipurpose Training Center in Otuokpoti, Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa State. Today is a celebration of vision, resilience, and the renewed hope agenda. It is also a testament to the Niger Delta Development Commission's unwavering commitment to sustainable development and human capacity enhancement in the Niger Delta region. This multi-purpose training center, a prototype facility, was conceptualized as part of our strategic response to the urgent need for skills acquisition, empowerment, and youth inclusion. With a sitting and training capacity of 1,000 persons, simultaneously, this center is fully equipped to serve as a skill hub, a community learning space, and a launchpad for innovation and self-reliance. Let me highlight the key components of this world-class facility. It comprises of 3 residential blocks, each with 42 rooms to accommodate trainees and facilitators. A 225-seater refectory, kitchen block to provide adequate catering services. A 200-seater viewing center block, ideal for digital sessions, seminars, and exhibitions. A warehouse for storage and logistics, an administration block to manage and coordinate training activities, a clinic block offering basic medical care, a facility management staff quarters for on-site personnel, a 6-classroom school block to support foundational learning and special sessions, a police post to ensuring 24/7 security, a well-paved access roads and walkways for ease of movement, a fence wall, gatehouse and watchtower for perimeter security, reliable power supply for uninterrupted operations, a 10,000-gallon water supply for steady access to potable water, modern fire hydrant system for safety and emergency response. This project was awarded on the 23rd of May, 2023. And we are proud to commission this project today, thanks to the professionalism, commitment, and efficiency of our partnering contractors. He was able to conquer the swamp by reclaiming 7.5 hectares of this swampland. The contractors are EJB Project, Gillian Construction and Development Services Limited, the Ogbia Projects Limited, Ultimate EBA Company Limited, Gillian Concepts and Logistics Limited, Max B Construction International Limited. We sincerely commend these firms for delivering a facility of excellent standard and for contributing meaningfully to regional development. Let me use this opportunity to reaffirm that this center, not just a structure, it is a symbol of hope. It is a pathway to progress and a lifeline for thousands of youths and women in this community and beyond. It is our hope that this facility will be sustainably managed, properly maintained, and actively utilized for the benefit of all. To the people of Otuokpoti and Ogbia local government area, I say this project is for you. Own it, use it, protect it. The NDDC will continue to stand with you in building Niger Delta, and that is peaceful, skilled, and prosperous. On behalf of the project department and our board, I thank you all for your support and for joining us on this remarkable journey. Special thanks to all the supervisory or the supervising departments of the NDDC for their commitment to making sure that this project is completed and on time. God bless the Niger Delta. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And unto God be the glory. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please another round of applause for our Executive Director of Projects, our workaholic Executive Director. Please a round of applause for Sir Victor Etim Antai. Distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to invite to the podium for his address the former Chief of Staff, Government House, Bayelsa State, our visionary leader, a political scientist like no other, a strategist to the core, a humanist to the core, a man who is transforming the Niger Delta Development Commission from transactions to transformation. Please, let's welcome to the podium for his address, Chief Samuel Obuku, PhD, Managing Director
Your Excellency, my dear Governor, I have to recognize you because I'm aware the Governor is on his way right now. I cannot make my speech if even he has not gotten here without recognizing him. I have to thank him for all his support. If not of his support, we wouldn't have had this peaceful atmosphere and possibly the opportunity to even execute this project. So I want to extend my warm gratitude and thankfulness to the Governor and the government of Bayelsa State for always supporting me since I became the Managing Director, CEO of NDDC. The Governor has always made himself available in every program which we organize that has been invited. The Governor made his way all the way to Port Harcourt, even when the East-West Road was blocked. It was not passable. The Governor spent 4 to 5 hours on that traffic just to meet up our Niger Delta Stakeholders Summit. And it was when he came for that summit that he made a vital point about the situation of the East-West Road. And when he made that point, part of the resolution of that stakeholder summit was for the NDDC to move into action to ensure that the East-West Road was made passable. And immediately we swung into action and the East-West Road was made possible for people of the region. I want to say thank you for that. Let me recognize the Senate Committee Chairman on NDDC and other senators who are members of the committee. Particularly, let me recognize my own and our host here, the Senator representing Bayelsa East in the Senate, Senator Benson Agadaga. And for the House of Reps members, you are also recognized, members of the committee, being led by Honorable Rodney Abowe. And let me also specifically recognize 2 other House of Reps members who are here, Chief Honorable Mitema Obodo, the member representing Ogbia Federal Constituency, and Honorable Mari Ebikaki, the member representing Brass Nimbe Federal Constituency. I will not also forget the leader of the Bayelsa State House of Reps Caucus, Honorable Fred Agbedi, who came in from Abuja this morning specifically to attend this program. Let me recognize the Minister of Regional Development, our father and our boss, who has given us all the support and guidance. Without his support, encouragement, and the pressure he puts on us to deliver on Mr. President's mandate, probably we would have been lying on our oars. We wouldn't have been that effective to even achieve what we have achieved. Honorable Minister, we want to say thank you for being our source of support, for you to have always been there each time we need you. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Let me recognize the chairman of the governing board of NDDC and other members of the board of NDDC. All of you, your encouragement and support can never be overlooked, because whatever we achieve as a management, it is due to the cooperation and support you have given to us. I want to tell the people of Nigeria that the Niger Delta is lucky to have the chairman we have right now, the person of Chiedu Ogbia. Let me recognize the EDs, the EDFA, the EDP, and the EDCS. At this point, let me take time to specially recognize our special guest, a man who had to abandon everything he has to do in this country. His office is one of the busiest offices in this country, just to join us in Bayelsa State, to celebrate this project with us, because he is also part of the architect of this project. That is why he's here himself to commission this project. Let me recognize the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, Barrister Olanikpeku Olukayode. You're welcome, sir. He's not here alone. He's here with the Secretary of EFCC and also the Director of Proceed of Crime. He's here with his team too, to also see what they supported the NDDC to achieve. At this point, members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, traditional rulers, directors of NDDC, women and youths of Ogbia local government and Bayelsa State and Niger Delta, members of the security agencies that are here. I can see the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, the DSS, the PANDEF chairman that is also here. I recognize you. He came all the way from Abuja in celebration of what we are celebrating today. Well, on this point, having established the protocol, I want to say we are here today to commission two projects in Bayelsa. First, the NDDC Renewed Hope Ultra-Modern Training Center, which is just behind me. This project was conceived by this administration as part of the way of bridging the gap of training deficiency in our region. The concept of this project was conceived in a way that it can be a hybrid project, a project that during the flooding season, people who are displaced can also have a shelter and also a place for training and learning, not just because they are displaced to be left for their fate. In Bayelsa, we know where we used to know as IDP camp before now was Osbo Lake, which was just open. People take over school buildings, and once there is flood, schools close because people take over school buildings. And we thought we had to create an ultra-modern structure, facility that will be a hybrid facility to accommodate people both in emergency situation and when we don't have emergency, the facility can be used for training of people, especially youths. That is the building we are commissioning today. This project as the EDP said, was conceived and awarded in the year 2023, just 2 years after we are here for commissioning. We are commissioning this project. I know when we say 2 years after, some persons are surprised because of the size of the project, because a lot of persons in the past used to see NDDC as a parastatal that never completes projects, but only abandon projects. But the narrative has changed. This narrative has changed because we have a leadership that is purposeful, a leadership that have decided to turn away from the past, a leadership that is willing to deliver the deliverables of democracy to the people of the Niger Delta. It is because we have a president that cares, a president that listens, a president that is result-oriented. We in NDDC today, we are not just doing propaganda. We are showing you our achievements. These achievements are based on the directives of Mr. President, because during inauguration and during our retreat, we were asked to sign a performance bond by the ministry through the directives of Mr. President. And having signed that performance bond, we are under obligation to perform. We are under obligation to ensure that our people do not complain. Hence today, the NDDC you see is carrying out projects everywhere in the nook and crannies of the Niger Delta. It is not only in Bayelsa. Every state is feeling the projects we are carrying out simultaneously. Every part of the Niger Delta you go to, you see NDDC projects. And most of these projects are either near completion or are being completed. Like I would say, most of the projects we are conceiving and carrying out in NDDC today are not projects that we just sit down and just assume that we just need to build structures. Most of our projects are based on needs assessment. And these needs assessments are done through consultations, because one of the cardinal points of the Renewed Hope agenda is stakeholders' engagement. Through our stakeholders' engagements and needs assessment, we have come to realize most of the needs of our people. That is why every project we carry out are projects that meet the needs of the people. For example, we came up with the Operation Light Up the Niger Delta. It was because we saw the gap of insecurity in the Niger Delta, and most communities were in the dark. And because most of these communities were in the dark, criminals took advantage of these communities and they started perpetrating crimes. Most of our women were not safe in the communities. Most of our fathers were not safe in communities. So we decided to come up with the Light Up Niger Delta. And everybody here can attest to the fact that through the Light Up the Niger Delta is more peaceful, safe, and secured. Through the Light Up the Niger Delta, you find out that even in communities where there is no light, students read under the solar lights that are being provided. These lights are not only being provided to you, because you might think that some of them are not sustainable. The NDDC is also working out arrangement for maintenance. But what we want you people to do for us as communities is to ensure that you protect these facilities, because we are aware that some of these things are being stolen. Please, they are there to serve you. They are yours. Protect them. Now, we also looked at the gap in education. We realized that in the past, we have built school buildings, and most of these school buildings, you realize that maybe they might not have enough teachers in some of these communities to teach them. Some of these communities, we realize that during break, teachers go to farm. So most of our children are always stranded in class. And because they were stranded, we believe we cannot produce a future behind us that is illiterate. We felt, let us build a structure where most of these children can also bridge the gap of digital education. NDDC decided to invest on procuring 45,000 U-lesson tabs to ensure that we give to children both in secondary and primary schools in the Niger Delta, which is the largest acquisition of these U-lesson digital tabs. These digital tabs, as we speak, are being distributed across the schools in the Niger Delta for our children to benefit from it. Let them from this age understand how it feels to use digital tab so that they can also be compliant with computer, because we also see that most of our students that we send on scholarship, one of the major challenges they face is the fact that they are not computer literate. So they spend most of their time trying to catch up with computer, and that also reduces their grade in performance. So we want these children that are coming up to be computer compliant. That is why we're doing that. Another issue again in the educational gap was the issue of lack of teachers. We realized that our children must be taught. As much as we're investing on the virtual learning, which is using the digital tab, we must also have the on-site learning in our communities, because that is where discipline is being instilled. So we realize that most of our teachers, most of our corpus that are being posted to our communities do not stay because they don't have conducive places to stay. Hence, most of them, they want to post themselves out of our states. So we decided to come up with building of corpus lodges. And I can assure you that the NDDC corpus lodges are 5-star corpus lodge that no corper will want to leave. When you come to our corpus lodge, you want to stay and you not think of how to find a way to post yourself out of those places. These are tips I'm giving to you about some of the results of our needs assessment that have driven some of the projects we have carried out. We are not talking about roads. We are not talking about other sectors that we have supported. We are not talking about youth training. We are not talking about other things. But now, having carried out other projects such as infrastructural projects, we talk about road construction, youth training, and the rest of them. In keying into Mr. President's agenda, NDDC is going to be 25 years on the 12th of next month, and we're inviting all of you to join us in celebrating NDDC. We are not only celebrating NDDC because we want to celebrate NDDC. We want to celebrate the vision of our founding fathers. We want to celebrate the vision of the Niger Delta people, because we believe our leaders, our fathers, had a vision before they fought for the NDDC, and that is what we're celebrating. Let us use this celebration to measure our successes. Use this celebration to measure our failures. Use this celebration to also measure things that we need to improve on. Having said that, in the next phase, NDDC will be keen into Mr. President's vision of agriculture, ensuring that we use agriculture as a platform for peace and security in the Niger Delta. Because they say a hungry man is an angry man. We cannot only train people for training's sake. We want to ensure that we want to invest hugely in agriculture to ensure that we promote agriculture, partnering with all the state governments in the Niger Delta to ensure that we have a proper agricultural program that will benefit the people of the Niger Delta. Hence, anytime from now, NDDC will be writing to the state governments for the commissioners for agriculture to come over for a mini agricultural retreat, which we are going to promote that retreat based on what we want to do as a region, because every state in the Niger Delta have their various areas of strength, have their various areas where they are better in agriculture. We want to put that together, create a regional integration for agriculture. After having that retreat, we will now promote it to the level of having a regional agricultural summit, where we'll come up with a master plan for agriculture in the Niger Delta, where NDDC want to partner with the state government in promotion of food security in the Niger Delta, tapping into Mr. President's vision for the people of Nigeria. Who tells you that some of the food or crops that are being imported into the region cannot be grown in this region? Let us try and ensure that as a region, we come together to ensure that we have food sufficiency, food security. Most of our staples do not grow again in this region. Today, the Ogbia people know that our common staple was cocoyam, which is amasi. Today, you cannot find it again in our land. Why can't we find it? Let us see how we can ensure that we grow those things we don't have anymore. We can come together. The land is there. If it is a research we have to do to ensure that we enrich the soil to grow those staples, let us do. That is going to be part of the result of that summit that we are going to have in ensuring that as a region, we have food security. So, having said that, I want to say that, all these things have only been achieved because we have people who are working with us. They say the smartness of a monkey is based on the proximity of the trees. No monkey can be smart if the trees are far. So we are not the smartest people. It does not mean we understand administration better than everybody. It is because people have come together to make it easy for us. And those people who have come together to make it easy for us are our leaders. Mr. President is there. He's giving us that purposeful guidance under the Renewed Hope agenda. The Renewed Hope agenda is defined by me as a social contract that is transmitting ideas, vision into reality. And you can see that with what we have achieved so far is transmitting vision and ideas into reality. And that can only be achieved under the Renewed Hope. Where you think impossibilities cannot be possible, but under the Renewed Hope agenda, impossibilities are now possible. That is why we can start a project in 2 years of this magnitude and finish it. Now, we also have our minister who has been there supporting us all the way. Where we make wrongs, he calls us, he advises us. We have had that fatherly relationship with him, and he has always supported us all the way. He is on us to ensure that we deliver on the mandate of Mr. President. We have the National Assembly, where we have a father at the helms, the President of the Senate, who has ensured that we have the best of cooperation with the National Assembly, where all what we do to ensure that the legislations backing all our budgets and the procurement is being done. Everything is done expeditiously. We also want to say they are part of those people who have really supported us. Then you come to my governing board. The governing board that was put together by Mr. President, put together wonderful men of the Niger Delta, people who are determined to make a difference, people who want to ensure that we achieve, people who have said and have sworn that we are going to be the best governing board of the NDDC. They are here, all in their numbers. They have also supported. Then we come to the state governors who have also given us support all the way in all the states where we operate. They have given us the best of cooperation. They have never made things difficult for us. We also say thank you to all the state governors, using the governor of Bayelsa State as a point of contact to reach out to all the state governors. Then we talk to our stakeholders. You have given us all the support. All the support you've given to us, we don't take it for granted. We are really, really encouraged by all your support. With the support you've given to us, you are telling us, do more. And we are assuring you we are going to do more. Then to the security agencies, you have done very, very well in the Niger Delta. Without peace and security, there can never be development. You have given us the needed peace and stable environment for us to carry out such projects. You can imagine, as distant as this project is, without security, many contractors will be afraid to come deep into this place to carry out job. but this project was completed on record time without any security issue. I want to say thank you to all the security agencies in the Niger Delta. And we are very, very much committed to supporting you. Now, saving the best for the last. Let me tell you the story, especially for this project. This project was a project that was carried out by the recoveries of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. When the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission called us that yes, they had recovered funds from IOC's non-remittance for the NDDC, we sat down with the Economic and Financial Crime Commission under this renewed hope agenda, trying to do things differently. And they asked us, they want to know what we want to do with this money, because they don't want a situation whereby these funds will be relooted. And we sat down with them and agreed with them and signed a bond with them that trust us that we're going to ensure that these funds are put into projects that will benefit the people of the Niger Delta. And they asked us projects such as what? We gave them ideas of one of these projects. This project that you're seeing is not only this one. This project, we are building it across the region. We have another of such project in Odi, in Bayelsa State. We have in Ozoro in Delta. We have in Patani in Delta. We have in Rivers. We have in Akwa Ibom. We're also building a Edo. We are trying to spread these training centers across the Niger Delta so that Niger Delta youths will not have the challenge of training facilities. Because sometimes you find out that if you look across the region, when it comes to training, they take people to Lagos, they take people to different parts of the country and not this region. We need to bridge that gap. First and first, let us provide the facility. When we provide the facility, the next stage will be the manpower, which we are going to work with private sector partners to ensure that we create the enabling manpower that will drive this facility so that it will serve the purpose. So coming back to our relationship with the EFCC, we assured the EFCC that we are going to deliver. And I can assure you, those funds have been put into proper use, and those funds were judiciously used in the various projects that we agreed with the EFCC that we are going to execute. And this is one of those projects that is ready for commissioning. That is why the chairman of EFCC himself is here to carry out that commission. So the chairman of EFCC coming here to carry out this commissioning does not mean NDDC is exempted from EFCC investigation. He's only here to complement what we have done. He's only here to come and see for himself, because my EDP believes in Ifunaya, see and believe. So I believe the chairman himself will be satisfied and pleased that yes, the meeting they had with the NDDC that was like stinking before the EFCC, they should know that this is a born-again NDDC, that if we make promises, we are going to fulfill them. So, Mr. Chairman, this project stands as a partnership between the NDDC and the EFCC. The EFCC did the recovery, the NDDC did the procurement and the expenditure. And this is a money well spent. I can assure you, when you go into this facility, by the time you see the finishing and the quality, you'll be impressed. And other agencies will come and learn from NDDC. If those who used to say NDDC projects are substandard, please let them come and see our projects today. Even my minister himself, who is an engineer, can attest to the fact that NDDC projects today are of quality, because my minister is a certified civil engineer and is a member of the Society of Engineers, fellow of Society of Engineers, and we know that yes, he cannot also give bad reports due to his relationship with his organization. My minister in various fora have also confirmed that NDDC projects are of high standard. Both our road projects and this one, I challenge everybody to come and take a look at it. I believe if you have the opportunity to have access to this place, you want to live here, you don't want to go back again. On this note, I want to, in closing, say thank you to all of you. From here, we'll be going to also commission our state office of the NDDC. It is very, very amazing that in 25 years, NDDC before now had only one built state office that was standing, apart from the Imo State office that NDDC inherited from Ompadek. But I can tell you, and I can assure you, that in 3 years, in 2 years, in a space of 2 years, under the guidance of our leaders and our president, NDDC, under the renewed hope, will be commissioning the Bayelsa State Office, which I can tell you that is one of the best facilities in this state, and it is ultra modern. That facility was gotten under this administration. And last week, Friday, we commissioned the Cross River State NDDC office, and next week, we'll be commissioning the Delta State NDDC office. That of Akwa Ibom is coming up very, very fast. Other ones are coming up very fast because our minister has given us the marching order that NDDC cannot be staying in rented offices, that NDDC have come of age where we must have our own offices. And I can tell you, we are following that directive, and that is why we are commissioning these state offices. These state offices we are commissioning is also institutionalizing the commission. That is to say, in 25 years, a child that is 25 years cannot be living with his mother and his father again. A child of 25 years don't reach to buy his own house. So NDDC is 25, we don't buy our own house. So nobody rent again. So on this note, I want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
As the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC celebrates its 25th anniversary, we mark a milestone in our journey to
NDDC, making a difference, making a difference, making a difference, you see.
addition to the welfare, the improved welfare that they have enjoyed under this governing board. So when we put that together, we ensure that we provide them with a good environment to discharge their duties and functions. It's all part of our reforms. We're working hard to reform NDDC, but it's not an easy task. It's been around for 25 years, and so it takes a while. It's gradual for us to move from the transaction to transformation. But there are many moving parts, and we'll continue to ensure that we do our best in improving not just the reputation of NDDC, but also everything that has to do with the commission. Last week, I was talking to the MD, and I said to him, the next phase has to be digitalization of our processes, because that way we can improve the efficiency of the commission. So I want to assure each and every one of you that as we continue to discharge our duties, we will always ensure that we put our best foot forward in NDDC. 25 years in existence. Last week, we were in Calabar, like the MD said, and we were there to commission the state office and also some roads in Calabar South and Calabar municipality. It's very unfortunate that despite the good works and the amount of effort and energy put into this project, not just by the contractors, but also by the staff who monitor, evaluate, and certify those projects, that people will take it upon themselves to cast us in bad light or just ensure that they spin the wrong narrative out there. Yesterday or 2 days ago, the media was awash with the project we went to commission in Calabar, where they said that due process was not followed in the award of the road project. The law says that the chairman and the managing director shall sign contracts on behalf of the commission. We only do that when due process has been followed. The procurement process is done, the award letter is issued, the bill of engineering measurements are also issued as well. So how can a mischievous individual sit down and say that there was no award letter, there was no BEME, there was nothing? So how did the contractor go to site? He just went there and did whatever it is he wanted to do. So politics is politics. You leave your politics aside. Do not include NDDC, because this is the new NDDC and we're determined to make a difference. Once again, I thank you and welcome you all to Bayelsa State, and next week we'll see you in Delta State. Thank you.
Let's put our hands together for the chairman of the NDDC, Mr. Chiedu Ogbia, Esquire. Please, let's put our hands together for him. This is a new NDDC, and we are making a difference. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I respectfully recognize the presence of Oluwatosin Ajayi, the DGDSS, ably represented by the Bayelsa State Director of Security, A.O. Amao. Please put your hands together for him. We also have some board members of the NDDC here present. I'd like to recognize Apostle Abasian Dikan Nkono, Akwa Ibom State Rep on the NDDC board. Please put your hands together for him. We also have here the Imo State Rep on the NDDC board, Dr. Kirian C. Uchebo. You're welcome, sir. And also here is Honorable Otito Thompson Atika Shea, Ondo State Representative on the NDDC board. Also here is His Excellency Ambassador Desmond Akao, DSSRS, Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission Representative on the NDDC board. You're welcome, sir. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point we will be taking the goodwill messages. May I respectfully invite to give a 2 minutes goodwill message. Sir Dr. Tonye Okio, Federal Commissioner, Federal Character Commission. Please put your hands together for him as he steps onto the stage.
Quickly, standing on the already existing protocol, I want to, on behalf of our community, the Otuokpoti community, thank His Excellency, the President of our dear country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for this project, and indeed for the Chairman of the Board and the Managing Director, our dear brother, Dr. Samuel Obuko, for this project. We say thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sticking to the time. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite to give his goodwill message the member of the House of Representatives representing Ogbia Federal Constituency, Honorable Chief Obodo Mitema. Please put your hands together for him.
Let me also very respectfully rely on the well-established protocol for want of time. I have not only witnessed, but I have participated in the commissioning of 2 mega projects in Ogbia local government. The Ogbia-Nembe Road, constructed by the NDDC, and today, the Renewed Hope Multipurpose Training Center. I can only say that the NDDC is working. And the people of Ogbia, the people of Bayelsa State are behind you. We are behind you. We give you all our support. And we pray for more impactful projects. God bless you as we keep working. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point respectfully invite to give his goodwill message on behalf of the National Assembly, the Chairman, Senate Committee on the Niger Delta Development Commission, distinguished Senator Ekpeong Asukwo,
Aluao, Your Excellency, the Governor of Bayelsa State, Distinguished Senator Patrick Ndubueze, here present, Distinguished Benson Kombowe, Distinguished Sunday Agadaga, Distinguished Senator Professor Anthony Ani. I thank you all for being here today. The Minister of Regional Development, the Chairman and Board of Chairman, MD, Board and Management of the Niger Delta Development Commission, traditional rulers, community leaders, and the people of Bayelsa State. I welcome you all here today. I must first start by commending His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his continued efforts at implementing the Renewed Hope agenda across the Niger Delta region. I would like to also thank the leadership of the National Assembly under the able chairmanship of distinguished Senator Godswill Otuokpoti for the legislative backing and the support that has been given to the Senate Committee on NDDC. I also deeply appreciate all those who have come together to make this project a reality. Special thanks to the hardworking Minister for Regional Development, Right Honorable Abubakar Momo, and the board and management of the NDDC for not only carrying out new initiatives in the region, but seriously implementing the completion of legacy projects. Ladies and gentlemen, if I am anything today, or if any man is anything in this life, it is as a result of training, as a result of the transfer and the acquisition of knowledge. This edifice that stands behind us is a citadel of learning. Behind us, young men, young women, average-aged men and women will get to learn new skills, acquire new knowledge that will better their lives, their families, and their communities. It is not just a center for displaced people during flood, it is also an arena where people can acquire knowledge that can teach them to fish and not to depend on being handed over fish. It is important that this is a lesson, that out of darkness, light can come. This project that stands behind us is the direct result of proceeds of recoveries of crime recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, but out of that, through the ingenuity of the board and management of NDDC, this light has come to stand here in Ogbia today. This shall train the young people of the Niger Delta, and as I understand, there shall be replication across the Niger Delta region. So I want to commend the NDDC, the board and management, that if they continue with this spirit, if they continue with this drive, the region will continue to grow. Just over the weekend, I was in my ancestral home, Asangeni Ongabatum, in Otuokpoti local government, and I was going through the creeks by boat, and I realized, and I could see the resilience and the beauty of our people throughout the creeks. But most importantly, it brought to the fore the infrastructure gap that we currently have in the Niger Delta region. We must come together as a people to work hard and as seriously to bridge this infrastructure gap. Ladies and gentlemen, day is far gone. I want to thank you for coming here, and I say congratulations to the people of Ogbia, congratulations to Bayelsa. God bless the Niger Delta region and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, most distinguished Senator Ekpeong Asokwo, Senate Chairman on the House Committee on NDDC. May I at this point recognize the presence of Honorable Namdas Abdul Razak, Northeast Representative on the NDDC Board. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I at this point invite for his special remarks the energetic, consistently supportive, astute administrator, and a distinct engineer, Honorable Engineer Abubakar Momo, FNSE, Honorable Minister of Regional Development.
Muhammad, Salah Muhammad. As-salatu, as-salatu, Allah Muhammad. As-salatu, as-salatu, Allah, la ilaha, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, 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 Allah Muhammad, Allah Muhammad. Allah Muhammad, Salah Muhammad. As-salatu, as-salatu, Allah Muhammad. As-salatu, as-salatu, Allah, ilaha illallah.
Thank you very much. The Chairman Senate Committee on NDDC and members of the Senate and House of Representatives, let me recognize especially our guest of honor today, who is incidentally the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, Barrister Olukayode, the chairman, managing director of NDDC, and members of the board of NDDC. I also recognize you, and also to be recognized are the security officers here present. I think we have more of them here today than all other areas we have been visiting, which shows that the security people are working here seriously. Let me also recognize all other personalities here present, including the traditional rulers, market, I can see our market women, and a number of personalities here today. Let me say that each time I'm called to the podium to speak in occasions like this, particularly commissioning of projects in NDDC, I feel highly elated. Highly elated in the sense that I have been a key player in the politics of Niger Delta, and particularly the NDDC, being a member of National Assembly for a long time. I want to say in clear terms that what we are witnessing in recent times in NDDC, of course, has never been there before. And that is why the negative narrative has always been there in NDDC. I think this very board, put together by Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has done us a lot of proud. I think they deserve some good commendations like all other persons have said before. Let me say that when the MD came to me to say that this project is going to be commissioned today, he did mention to me that the chairman of EFCC will be the one to commission the project. The first question I asked him is, why the chairman of EFCC? He now narrated to me the background of this very project. I gave hand up for him. I said, yes, that is a very good decision that you have taken, because the person who actually assisted you to recover this fund you are using to establish this very institution, it is also very important for him to see what you have utilized the money for. So I think it's a very good decision today that the chairman of EFCC is here live by himself to see what the NDDC has done with the money they assisted them to recover. And I'm happy that the MD too, in his own speech, he alluded to the fact that his presence here does not necessarily mean that they are exempted from investigation. So you have to be very careful what you are doing. Know full well that at least the corruption people, the anti-corruption people, and the rest of them are here watching. Having said that, I want to say that commissioning of infrastructure like this means that for us in Niger Delta, things are going good for us. For a number of years that we have been in the play of the activities of Niger Delta, I can't imagine, throughout the time I was a member of National Assembly, from 2003 till 2015, I can't imagine if there was any time NDDC invited anybody to come and commission a project. That is a statement of fact. And that is the more reason when you visit various communities in the Niger Delta region, you have abandoned projects here and there. There are quite a number of projects that were started in those days, but the projects are not completed. They are abandoned. It may not necessarily be because the people there did not want to complete them, but one of the issues that we observe is that the board of NDDC, after 1-2 years, that board is sacked. The next thing you hear is sole administrator. If you don't hear sole administrator, you have a management committee. And those are purely aberrations. They are not in tandem with the provisions of the Act. And at the end of the day, what do we expect? There will be no meaningful achievement in the region. Who suffer? It is the people of Niger Delta that suffers. That is the more reason I feel this very board need to be given the necessary cooperation for them to deliver for the people of Niger Delta. Otherwise, when they are quarreling and the board is self-packing, it is the people of Niger Delta that we lose. And let me make it clear that since I took over about 1 year, 8 months ago, I have not been called upon to settle any squabble in the NDDC. And from all the testimony so far, you will see that the managing director, the board, they are working in harmony. And that is the reason, even in our research retreat, I made it clear to the other commissions that are coming up that they need to learn from the NDDC management team and the board. Because the board and the management team, they are working in harmony, things are moving very well. I think by the time other commissions imbibe that spirit and they learn from what is happening in NDDC, there will be more meaningful development across the various regions in the country. And that is what is expected, and that is what Mr. President has directed that should be done. I want to say again that apart from these infrastructures, major infrastructure we are witnessing these days and being commissioned, there are quite a number of projects. Many people are not even aware that are being carried out by NDDC. For instance, we were here about a month and a half ago, even with the First Lady, to also commence the kick off the free medical treatment. And I think that free medical treatment that is being carried out by NDDC has gone a long way to assisting various communities, individuals that hitherto would be able to afford the medical treatment. And of course, as of today, we have on record not less than 38,000 have been treated for free without payment. And there are quite a number of social services. We talk of the scholarship scheme, which has been measured before. Every year, giving scholarship to not less than 200 students to go and read master program abroad is of no mean achievement. And there are also other social services that are being carried out by the NDDC, but those ones, you will see them. But they are part of those things that are being done in order to mitigate the impact of the harsh weather within our society. Having said that, let me once again say in clear terms that all of these things too are also made possible because the National Assembly we have today is also doing its best in terms of cooperation. Doing its best to the extent that most of the projects that are being executed today, if they are not budgeted for by the National Assembly, it will be very difficult. But the only appeal I want to make to the National Assembly is to ensure that by the time the budget is brought before the National Assembly, you kindly look at it and pass it expeditiously so that the 2025, particularly that is going to come, will also start in earnest like every other ones. The projects we are going to commission today, of course, the ED project, the MD and the chairman, they have also put us through the nature of the project. And with the facilities here that have been mentioned by the executive director of project, you can see that it's not just an institution, it's a village of its own. And by the time you come here in the night and see this environment, you know that this is more or less a village of its own. And this is what we need to be replicated in all the 9 states of Niger Delta region. And I'm happy that, of course, this one is being commissioned today, but I know in a very short time, we are going to look at the one in the River State. So once again, I have to commend your initiative for coming up with this project. But for me, I even look at this project as not just going to be a center of training. I even look at this project as a center that can even be converted in a due course to higher learning, because the environment and the facilities here, I think they are quite enough and moderate to achieve whatever you want to do. And let me again use this opportunity to thank our leader here, our friends. The chairman of PADEF is here with us today. And we have a good representative taking over from our father, Chief Edwin Clark. But the person who is here today, a retired permanent secretary, former ambassador, Igali, is here with us. So I have to thank you for all the cooperation, the support, because in most cases, when we have issues, we always run to that angle to assist us. I know our late father, E.K. Clark, did a lot for us. And for me in Percy, it was more or less my unofficial advisor. I hope too that Ambassador Igari will also step into that very position. And I know you can do it better by your age and by your exposure. Having said that, I want to once again thank you very much, and also say that for FANA, that Niger Delta is very lucky this time around that at the ends of affair, we have a man who listens to us. Like I said when I was in Calabar the other time, each time I see Mr. President, all he will say, how is Niger Delta? I say, Your Excellency, sir, Niger Delta is working. He said, thank God that at least you said it's working. But for him too, he has also seen that it appears NDDC, they've gotten it right this time around. So what does that mean? It means that we have a man who is committed to developing the entire Niger Delta, apart from what he's doing in other countries. Niger Delta is very much in his mind, and he gives us all the necessary support, and that is the more reason. Even when we have NDDC, today, we also have the South-South Development Commission that will soon be operational. By the time all other commissions are operating, we also have South-South Development Commission that will be complementing the effort and the work of NDDC. By the time NDDC is working and South-South Development Commission is working, you can now know the monumental development that we are going to witness in this region. So once again, let us put our hands together for our amiable President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who by the power of God, by the special grace of God, in a very short time, I'm sure we are also going to speak on his behalf in Niger Delta region. I'm sure we all speak positively when it comes to the time. Is that not so? So he's going to be our next president again. Once again, I have to thank you and God bless you.
Nagode Allah, Nagode Allah, Allah Sariki, Nagode Allah, Nagode Allah, Nagode Allah, Allah Sariki.
A resounding applause for the Minister of Regional Development, Honorable Engineer Abubakar Momo, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you for those kind words. Distinguished senators, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to invite an alumnus of Harvard University, born on 14th October, and assumed office as the Executive Chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on 14th October 2023. Our dear Mr. Olanipekun Olukayode, our special guest. May we give him a resounding applause as he comes to make his remarks and officially commission this NDDC Renewed Hope Multipurpose Training Center here in Otuokpoti. Thank you very much. The Chair Senate Committee on NDDC permits me to use you as point of contact to recognize all the members of the National Assembly, distinguished Honorable Minister for Regional Development, Honorable Engineer Abubakar Momo, the Chair, board members, management team, and the entire staff of NDDC, the renewed, transformed NDDC. Permit me to specially recognize our elder in the house, Ambassador Igali. Thank you very much, sir. All the military, security, law enforcement agencies commanders here present, I recognize you all. The traditional rulers here present, I recognize you, our revered traditional fathers. All the society, I see yellow, I see red, I see green, I see blue, I see black. Thank you very much. Members of the media here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The chair of the board of NDDC, let me quickly share this with you. I assumed office, like it was rightly said, in October 2023. A couple of months down the line, I received a letter. Of course, a lot of people have been coming, governors, ministers, on courtesy visit. But I received a letter signed by the managing director of NDDC saying that they want to pay me a courtesy visit with the management team. And the moment my SA admin brought the letter, I said no. I'm not ready to see anybody from NDDC. And I said it because of the experience I have, because of the institutional reputation, because of course, before I became chairman, I was chief of staff, one of the chairmen. I became the secretary to the commission. Eventually, I became the chairman. So I have an insider's knowledge about a few high-profile investigation that EFCC has done. And the first thing that came to my mind is the case files. Huge case files, where the name of NDDC featured regularly.
And you know all the drama that surrounded, the past administration and all of that stuff. So that rang bell in my mind. I said, look, what am I doing with NDDC? When I complain, I'm through with their cases, we can talk. Or perhaps we meet in court. A couple of days afterwards, I got 2 calls. I didn't know how they knew that I received a letter for courtesy call by NDDC. And one of them is someone that I referred so much. As a matter of fact, is one of my great mentors. He said, look, you need to listen to the new MD. And so thereafter, I agreed. So we fixed a date. Ladies and gentlemen, by the time the team led by the MD made a presentation for 20 minutes in my boardroom, I changed my mind. And I said, this man knows what he's doing, because I have my background in criminal investigation and prosecution. I had my background in compliance management. So when I see someone talks about institutional and policy reforms, passionately, you could see that this man was not talking out of the fact that he just wanted to talk. He knew what exactly he was going to do. And I told my management team, we need to work with this guy. He knows what he's doing. And I believe NDDC will get to a point where Nigeria will have cause, particularly Niger Delta, to celebrate the leadership of this man. And here we are today. So Mr. Chairman, Mr. MD, I'd like to congratulate you on this feat. As a matter of fact, of course, in Nigeria, Niger Delta is the goose that lays the golden eggs. And it is our strong belief in the FCC that the goose that lays the golden eggs must not be deprived of the benefit of the golden eggs. That's why on our part, as law enforcement and anti-corruption agency, we will do everything within our power to ensure that every dime, every kobo, as a sort of the 3% that is due to NDDC, that is due to Niger Delta, we are going to recover for you. So immediately I asked them to bring the file. After his encounter with me for 20 minutes, I said, bring all their recovery files. They brought all the recovery files, and I approve that the entire money must be released because of what I've seen in him. And since that time, Dr. Sam will always call me, Chairman, we are at this stage of completion of this project. We have attained this milestone. We have attained this level. And you see, my first encounter with him began to resonate again. So we are going to continue to support you. As a matter of fact, after today's commissioning, come again next week, another check will be waiting for you. Another check will be waiting. Another check will be waiting. It's a promise. It's a promise. It's a promise. We have so many in the past. And I tell you, this is the product of the leadership of our president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Under this president, NDDC is working. Under this president, good governance is being delivered. Under this president, anti-corruption is working. For the first time in the history of this country, we recovered the highest real estate products of crime in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, it's a world record. We have told the entire Nigerians it's available for the less privileged. If you are interested, come to Abuja. What is the essence of the fight against corruption? It's not just to run the task getter and to hand people. It is for us to see the impact of this fight. And what you are seeing here today is the impact of the war against corruption in Nigeria. So it is my delight, my joy, to be part of this transformational agenda, to be part of this life-transforming project that would deliver good governance to the people of Nigeria, people of Niger Delta, people of Bayelsa State, people of Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa, and people particularly of Otuokpoti. I hope I pronounce it well. Our president has given us the marching order. He's not ready to listen to excuses from anybody. And that's why we are here today. Because the Renew Hope agenda is a reality. It's a reality here with what NDDC is doing. For the first time, people are beginning to identify with NDDC. Could you have imagined somebody like me coming to sit down with the MD of NDDC 3-4 years ago? Wouldn't have been a possibility. But because of the fact that we have people now in the realm of affairs who understand good governance. And as a matter of fact, governance is a very serious business. Very, very serious business. When there is no impact, there is no governance. So once again, I want to congratulate the people of this community. I want to congratulate the entire leadership and management of NDDC for this great feat. And I want to also, on behalf of the entire management of EFCC, I came here with my number 2, the secretary to the commission, Mohammed Amajoda, and also the director that will present the next check to the MD, the director of process of crime. Now be this, so Mr. Latono. And so on behalf of the entire management of EFCC, we want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to be part of this. And we want to congratulate the people of this environment. And we want to assure you that as more comes, more projects will also be commissioned. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
The executive chairman will lead other dignitaries for the commissioning of this ultra-modern multi-purpose training center. Please.
On behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, permit me to also say on behalf of the entire reform-minded Nigerians, on behalf of Nigerians that believe that good governance can work in this country, for once in our lifetime, and we have the evidence here to prove that. I'd like to commission this gigantic building, this project that is meant to serve humanity as a product of commitment, resilience, focus, and hard-working chairman, managing director, members of the board, and the entire management and staff of NDDC. I therefore commissioned this project, 1,000-seater training and capacity development center, skill acquisition center,
for the benefit of humanity and to the glory of the Almighty God. The NDDC renewed Hope Multipurpose Training Center at Otuokpoti in Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa State, Lot 1 to 6, built by Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC, by the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. This day, 17th of June, 2025, to the glory